Most people think of Only Connect as a family show. The show is itself like a family, in that it makes you want to scream with frustration and rage. It makes you want to curl up into a little ball, screw your eyes up tight and tell yourself, I'm not worthless, I'm not stupid, I'm a valuable person, while screaming out loud, just shut up, shut up, shut up. On which note we say welcome to the Only Connect Family Special. Joining me are two favourite family teams from previous series, and they are, on my right, Jake Laslett, a science teacher who accidentally drove up Mount Olympus on a recent trip to Greece. Emma Laslett, a disability information officer who, following a recent back operation, is able to walk thanks to a Bluetooth-controlled cybernetic implant. And their captain and father, Chris Laslett, a marketing and publicity controller who once stood near David Cameron at a craft fair. All members of the Laslett family, they are the Lasletts. Hello again, Lasletts.
Hello.
You made the semi-final of Series 8. How does it feel to be back here in Cardiff?
Mildly terrifying, but very nice.
How has the family been preparing for the quiz?
Busy making up sets of 4 and hoping that they come up somewhere in the show.
Well, good luck. Very nice to see you again. You are playing this time on my left. Tom West, a lawyer who, during an early court appearance, was told by a judge to stand up straight and take his hands out of his pockets. Hugh Trimble, an English teacher who once propped up the novelist Sebastian Faulks by his ankles to stop him falling over. And their captain, Gail Trimble, a classics lecturer who has deciphered all the Elvish in the end papers to Lord of the Rings. Tom is married to Gail, who is the sister of Hugh. They are the Meeples. Now, you reached the third round of Series 13 of Only Connect Ghostly. What have the Meeples been up to since we saw you last?
Working hard and teaching our 2-year-old to play dominoes and watching Only Connect.
And how do you feel about facing opponents again on this quiz?
Well, we know there's nothing riding on this one, but it's still a little scary to be back.
You won the toss, Meeples, but you've elected to put your opponents in first. So, Lasletts, I will ring memory bells for you by saying, please choose an Egyptian hieroglyph.
I'd like lion, please.
Lion. OK, you'll be seeing the first in a series of clues. They have something in common. What is it? The time starts now.
No, it's not. No,
Next, please.
it's how many triangles are in the logo. Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
This is organisations with triangles in the logo and how many triangles there are.
Oh, welcome back. Coming in after 2 clues, you get 3 points. They're all to do with triangles in their logos. Can you describe those logos?
The HSBC is kind of an abstract thing, I think. The MOT...
It's a diamond made of 6 triangles.
Yeah, there you go. The MOT is 3 pointing outwards from the centre. The Bluetooth is 2 runes, I believe, intersected.
Harold Bluetooth staff rune.
And...
Is it? Yeah.
Qantas.
And Qantas is an offset triangle with a kangaroo in it.
Now, don't throw away... Emma, don't throw away that comment about the Bluetooth one. What were you saying?
It's Harold Bluetooth staff rune, so it's the rune that Harold starts with and the rune that Bluetooth starts with overlaid on each other.
That's right. Harold Bluetooth attempted to unite the Danish tribes into a single kingdom. So I think the idea is that communication will be united. Although I would say their logo is very like the MOT one.
Yeah, it's just on the side.
Well done, well quizzed, you're on form. Meeples, what would you like?
Twisted flax, please.
The twisted flax. OK. You are going to be seeing picture clues. They all have something in common. What is it? Here's the first.
That's Ginger Baker.
OK. Next.
I don't know.
No idea. What's his Ginger Baker in?
Well, he was in Cream originally. All sorts of things.
OK, so that's not very helpful with that. Should we go?
Yeah.
Next.
It's an Alsatian.
That's an Alsatian.
Alsatian or a German dog.
Yeah. But that's not all different
getting
kinds
anything
of... Baker, shepherd. It's not saying much.
Should we go for the next one?
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got one.
Next.
2 seconds. Oh, that's it. The time is up. Someone's out of practice with quizzing. Lasletts, you've got the chance for a bonus point.
Professions?
That's not it. Let's discuss the clues. Now, you recognise the first one.
Yeah, that's Ginger Baker, isn't it? Who was drummer in Cream and all sorts of things.
That's right, that's Ginger Baker. For the purposes of this question, we will refer to him as Mr. Baker. The second one is supposed to depict an old man in a hurry. The third one, a dog. And the fourth one, it's Greeks bearing gifts. This is to do with being wary. Beware of Mr. Baker is the title of a documentary film about Ginger Baker. Beware of an old man in a hurry is a phrase from Randolph Churchill talking about Gladstone.
OK.
Beware of the dog and beware of Greeks bearing gifts.
I didn't get that one.
I mean, well done for recognising Ginger Baker, which I thought was the difficult bit.
Salvage some pride, I think.
Beware of was the link there. Beware of quiz questions.
Right.
Lasletts, what would you like?
What do you like?
We'll go for 2 reads, please.
Did you just play Rochambeau for the right to choose?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. 2 reads it is. What connects these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please. Next, please.
It's not the Jetsons, is it? No, but it's...
Next, please.
Two seconds.
The Jetsons.
It is not the Jetsons. Meeples, you have the chance for a bonus now.
It's the Banks family and Mary
It's
Poppins.
the Banks family and Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yes, Winifred is the one that's sort of suffragette in the film. This is the family mainly from the film. Have you ever read the books?
A very long time ago. There are 2 babies.
There's actually 3 babies.
Oh, wow, OK.
So there's a series of books, and there are baby twins, John and Barbara, and then later on, there's little baby Annabelle. So there are 5 children in the books, but they didn't quite manage to squeeze them into the film. The Banks family in Mary Poppins. Well done for a bonus. What would you like for your own question?
Water, please.
OK. The water question. It's the music question. You'll be hearing your clues. What do they have in common? Here's the first.
She says boys like a little more booty the whole night.
That's not the bass, isn't it?
OK. Next. Oh, Should I Be Your Face?
John Dolce. I know the connection, yeah.
Next.
Right, that's Coaster Eye, that's Doris Day. Ryan.
Days and Dolce. Not so much to me. Next.
That's Matter Love, which is Diana Ross and the Supremes.
2 seconds.
Are they all... No, we don't. Any idea at all?
No, we recognise most of them, but can't.
No, we
make a
can't
link.
put it together.
All right,
Sorry.
Lasletts, do you want to go for a bonus?
They're all from Italian origins.
Are you thinking of Shut Up, Your Face at clue 2?
Basically, yeah. Hoping the others will tie in with them somehow.
The link is maternal advice. Shut up your face, of course, when I was a boy, my mama used to say, what's the matter you, and so on. Que sera, sera. We missed off the bit, which is when I was just a little girl.
Yeah, exactly.
My mother used to say to me, you can't hurry, love. Mama said you can't hurry, love. And, of course, all about that bass. Who knows the lyrics of that one?
There's a bit that goes, I'm all about the bass, I'm about the bass, I think.
It is. Would you like to hear the advice?
Yes.
Yeah.
My mama, she told me, don't worry about your size. She said, boys like a little more booty to hold at night. That's lovely, isn't it? Did your mother give you that sort of advice?
Every time.
As a young person? Yeah, apparently, The Guardian asked Meghan Trainor, who's the performer, age 21, about that line, and they said, should you base your self-worth on what men find attractive? I mean, God forbid The Guardian would be thought of as humorless. Boys like a little more booty to hold at night. It's like Cole Porter never went away. So no points there. Lasletts, what would you like?
OK, I think we'll have the Horned Viper, please.
The Horned Viper. OK, what is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please.
French girl. No, it's too relaxed. Okay,
Next, please.
Sweden. Norway or Sweden?
Next, please. Korea?
Not the right answer, I'm afraid. Meeples, do you want to go for a bonus?
Bhutan.
It's not that either. It is Samoa. So what word do you think was dropped from its name in 1997?
Western.
Western Samoa, exactly, yes. When Wales lost to Western Samoa in the 1991 World Cup, they said, well, at least we weren't playing all of Samoa. And they dropped the word Western, changed from a monarchy to a republic in 2007, driving on the left. And that last clue, they crossed the international date line. Yeah. And in order to achieve that, they had to skip December 30th, 2011. Events in history of Samoa. So you don't get the bonus, Meeples, but you may have the last question of the round. The Eye of Horus. What do these clues have in common? Here's the first.
It's the younger. There isn't anything else, is it? It's not G's. Next. There's an elder and a younger. Yeah. There was an elder and a younger of them.
That's absolutely right. Who do you think would have appeared in the next two clues?
William Pitt.
Yes. And
Strauss.
Bruegel. There's an elder and a younger. And I might have accepted fathers and sons, but why is that slightly quirky?
Because Pliny, the elder, was the maternal uncle of Pliny the younger.
That's right, but he also adopted him. So fathers and
those
sons.
Romans.
Are those Romans? So kindly. That means at the end of round one, the Lasletts have 3 points, the Meeples have 4. Round two, the teams will remember, is the sequences round. What comes fourth in a sequence? That means they can see a maximum of 3 clues before giving me the answer. Lasletts, you'll be going first again. What would you like?
Can we have twisted flax, please?
You can. Twisted flax. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
Okay, so these are. Yeah, so these are. Is it Westminster, Scotland? So where did it start? They're definitely high-ranking. That's yeah, they're high-ranking Scots. Yeah, they should also go for it.
Sturgeon.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So I'm going to show the third in a sequence to the Meeples for a possible bonus.
No, I can't remember. We'll go for him then. Dodds?
Not it. The connection is, as I think you know, that these are Northern Ireland First Ministers, and next after Peter Robinson was Arlene Foster.
Oh.
Yes.
So not the one
The Trimble in the first clue. Joint Nobel Peace Prize winner David Trimble. A relative?
No, not as far as we know.
They are Northern Ireland First Ministers, and I needed to hear Foster. Meeples, what would you like?
Horned Viper, please.
The Horned Viper. OK. What would come forth in this picture sequence? Here's the first.
Yes, yes, that's a good point. Next. Somebody's D.
Yeah, so.
OK, so we're coming down. So C and L. So Dorothy L says.
Yeah.
A picture of the wonderful crime novelist Dorothy L. Sayers with a 50 in the corner.
Looking at my screen, if this is Dorothy L. Sayers, she is looking better than ever. But I will accept that answer. Oh, no. They're telling me where it's actually Samuel L. Jackson. Talk me through the clues.
The first one is Ian Banks, sometimes Ian M. Banks, with 1,000 for the Roman numeral M. Mm-hmm. John D. Rockefeller?
It is.
A for D for 500.
And you've got Arthur C. Clarke.
C for 100, and the next Roman numeral down is L for 50.
That's exactly right. They are Roman numerals going down in value. So somebody with an L in the middle of their name, Dorothy L. Sayers or Samuel L. Jackson. Well done. Lasletts, what would you like?
We'll go with water, please.
Water. What would come forth in this water sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
So are these like. So since it's right. So 4-to-1 birds. Yeah, 4-to-1 birds.
4-to-1 birds.
Good early buzzing from you two. 4-to-1 birds is the right answer. What's happening here?
On the 12 days of Christmas, my true love gave to me. All of that.
All of that. They are gifts given on the 12 days of Christmas. And between 12 and 8, it's all people, lords and maids and that sort of thing. And 7 and 6, geese and swans, 5 gold rings, and 4 to 1 is birds again. If we assume that the gifts are given cumulatively, what does My True Love receive the most of?
Oh, God, it'll be somewhere around the middle.
It's 7 and 6, so geese and swans
Yeah.
joint.
Yes, that's right. It'll be 42 swans and 42 geese, because 7 swans are swimming given 6 times on days 7 to 12, and 6 geese are laying given 7 times on days 6 to 12.
If the geese were laying, they might have laid eggs and there might be more.
If you add them all together, you actually get 364 gifts, which is one for every day apart from Christmas Day.
That seems a bit mean to withhold one then. What if the whole thing was a cruel prank to drum up expectation for Christmas Day and then there was nothing? Very well done. 12 days of Christmas, 4 to 1, birds. Back to you, Meeples, for a choice.
Lion, please.
Lion. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next. I don't see that's saying very much for me. Next. Yeah, so these backwards things, they're not all diminutives, though. Why do they all begin with children of, what's it, I-N-I-T-I-A? Does that mean anything? In it, so it could be someone with initials I-E, but I have literally no idea.
2 seconds.
Someone with the initials I-E?
Not it, I'm afraid. Lasletts, do you want to have a go for a bonus?
Somebody with the initials I-O?
That's not it. You're all right, it is to do with initials, but let's look at their initials. I-N-I-T...
Initials.
I-A, somebody with the initials L-S, and the obvious choice, Leo Sayer, of course. That would be the obvious choice. I-N-I-T-I-A-L-S. It's literally spelling out initials. Unlucky. Lasletts, what would you like?
We would like the Eye of Horus, please.
Eye of Horus. Well, this is good news. A music sequence. What would come forth in the series that you're about to hear? First one coming in now.
Stop, whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait,
Next.
Next, please.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around.
Does it have to be brothers?
Something by the Jackson 5.
Would be a perfect answer, and why?
They're siblings.
That's absolutely right. And what is the sequence?
So there's 2 siblings in the Carpenters.
Richard and Karen Carpenter.
There's 3 Wilsons in the Beach Boys. There's 4 in a band.
It would have been the
Sister
Cause.
Sledge,
The
okay.
Cause, or Sister Sledge, and then 5 in the Jackson 5.
In the Jackson 5. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any music to play in by the Jackson 5. I think it would have been Blame It on the Boogie, but we don't have it. But I think we could remind people at home how it goes. 1, 2, 3.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie.
Absolutely lovely. Good news is you've earned yourselves a question, and it's going to be the 2 reads. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Oh, which sport?
I don't know.
It's as well. Yeah, OK, next. It's extreme close-up, isn't it? Close-up and then extreme close-up. Yeah. I don't think I can do anything else. Extreme close-up.
Extreme close-up, or as our director apparently calls it, big close-up. She's a simple woman. A simple woman, big close-up or extreme close-up is the right answer. What is the sequence?
These are certain kinds of shots in cinematography.
Getting closer to someone's face.
Yeah.
Exactly, they're zooming in shots, and in last place, the big close-up, or apparently a choker shot or an Italian shot, but some kind of extreme close-up, as I hope we had of your lovely face, Hugh, during that last performance.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Very well done. That means at the end of round 2, the Lasletts have 9 points, the Meeples have 10. Time now, the contestants have remembered, too late to back out, for the connecting wall. 16 jumbled up clues that they need to sort into 4 connected groups of 4. Meeples, you've got the dubious pleasure of going first this time, so please choose lion or water.
Water, please.
OK, you have 2.5 minutes to solve the water wall, starting now.
You've got characters from the Muppets, like Beaker, Scooter...
And Lord of the
Ralph.
Flies.
Oh, yeah.
There comes a baby as well.
Yeah, and you've got... I fingers.
Yeah, so test tube baby, bush baby,
Yeah.
jelly
Beanie
baby,
Baby.
Yeah.
Is that it? Oh, amazing.
Okay.
Well, they're just things that you have in a lab, a beaker, a
Three
retorted
lives
burette,
now.
and a petri dish. So what on earth is the other thing?
cold finger animal.
Janice and Scooter.
There must be some kind of are they anagrams. They don't contain
Goldfinger
other
sounds
ones.
like Goldfinger. Animal is in the Muppets. Janice is in Friends. Doesn't mean much else to me. Are there any other famous Janices?
Yeah, but don't you use cold finger to
No,
test the
it's not
things?
Yeah, you might be. That might be something there.
Something you find in a
Animal
lab.
testing.
I mean,
Finger.
Scooter. Again, could be the name of somebody, but Goldfinger with a small. So unless Beaker is like Tracy Beaker, you know, unless we're wrong.
Yeah.
And a Janice is something you also have, or an animal is something you also have in a lab. Yeah.
Can you give a retort? Give a cold
Yes.
Yes. You
Give
finger? Give a burette.
give a
An animal?
Janice.
Give an animal.
You know,
Okay.
Give the. Yeah, I don't
witty
know though.
retort. You can't have a witty retort.
Right. Well.
I think we're just going to have
Yeah.
to go for it, aren't we? So this is what we think it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So animal then, and not one of the others.
Yeah.
Well then, if you put maybe there's a Janice in the Muppets, then you know.
Oh,
Try the
I was
Muppets,
going
which
to
would be
use, but
Animal,
it has
Scooter,
to be.
Beaker, and Janice, couldn't you? But
You've solved the wall. Very well done. What about the connections? Tell me about the first group. Ralph, or I suppose Rafe, some people might say, but not if they grew up where I did. Ralph, Jack, Samnerick, Piggy.
They're characters in Lord of the Flies.
That's right. And who's Samnerick?
They are a pair of twins.
That's right, Sam and Eric. It's a bit like Jedward, perhaps that's where they got
Yeah,
the inspiration. Test tube, bush, jelly, beanie,
Kinds of baby.
kinds of baby. Janice, Beaker, animal, Scooter.
You?
these are characters in the Muppets.
They are the Muppets. You spotted Muppets early and then veered away. Which ones don't you know?
Janice, I don't remember.
The guitarist with Electric Mayhem.
Ah, yeah.
Beaker, of course, the assistant to Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. Animal as the drummer of the Electric Mayhem. And Scooter?
Was the runner, wasn't he?
That's right, he's the nephew of the owner of the Muppet Theatre. And the last group, Retort, Cold Finger, Burette, Petri Dish.
We think they're all pieces of lab equipment.
They are. A cold finger, apparently, is used to generate a localised cold surface. So you found all 4 groups, you got all the points, and you get the bonus, that's a maximum of 10. Let's bring in the Lasletts now, give them the lion wall, and see how they get on with solving it. You have 2.5 minutes to solve the lion wall, starting now.
The Nirvana, Jam, Placebo, and America. News.
There we go. That's handy.
Furies and Muses. And Fates. Groups. And Dryads. No, Graces. Graces.
Furies, Graces,
Muses and Fates. I think.
Where's it?
No. That's we've got White, Joshua, Palm Sunday.
It's too sour.
Palm Oil, Curry.
Curry favour, Grace and favour.
Isn't Curry a boxer as well as Hay? Maybe?
Yeah, it's Curry, Hay,
Joshua.
I think, and Anthony Joshua.
Oh, maybe another one. Tyson. No.
Oh, Tyson.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tyson Fury.
Try without Bay. Try without Bay. Try without Joshua.
Sorry.
What about White?
Made that up.
Right.
And that's one.
Fate. Palm. What have we got with Palm?
Palm Sunday.
Let me try and fill these sets.
Joshua Tree.
Palm Tree. Bay Tree.
Yeah. Joshua Palm, Bay, and
Without Fury.
Curry Tree. I think there's a Curry Tree.
3 lives
Right.
now.
So we're saying Curry Tree.
Curry Tree. Bay
Bay
Tree,
Tree,
Joshua Tree, and Palm Tree. So the other ones
Fury,
are
White,
boxes.
Hank as well.
That would make sense for you.
Yeah.
You've solved the wall. Very well done. What about the connections? Tell me about the first group. America, Placebo, Nirvana, The Jam.
They're just
Rock bands.
They're 3-piece rock bands.
They're 3-piece rock bands. They're trios, not all siblings, I think, in the case
No,
of the
not
band.
this time.
They're all rock
Too much to
trios.
ask.
And the green group, Muse, Grace, Dryad, Fate.
So these are all like groups of deities in Greek mythology.
That's exactly right. They are all deities. And the next group, Joshua, Curry, Palm, Bay.
Types of tree.
Types of tree. And the turquoise group, Fury, White, Hay, Chisora?
These are boxers.
UFC?
No, they're not
No,
UFC.
no, they're
Heavyweight boxers?
They are British heavyweight
Yeah.
boxers.
Fantastic.
So all the points, all the connections, the bonus, everything, that is a maximum of 10. Let's have a look at the overall scores. The Lasletts have 19 points, the Meeples have 20. So it is absolutely neck and neck as these brilliant returning teams hurry towards round 4, the missing vowels round. You'll remember how this works, teams. Fingers on buzzers. What are the well-known names, phrases and sayings from which we've removed the vowels? I can tell you that the first group are all parts of a driving test. Meeples?
Parallel parking.
Correct. Lasletts?
Emergency stop.
Yes, it is. Lasletts?
Eyesight check.
Yes, indeed. Lasletts?
Hill start.
Oh, so tricky. Next category, film titles with younger animals than you'd expect. Lasletts?
Reservoir puppies.
Correct. Lasletts?
Tin on a hot tin roof.
Lovely. Meeples?
Black Signet.
Yes, it is. Meeples?
The Fawn in Winter.
I'm afraid that's not it. You lose a point, Lasletts, do you know?
The fawn hunter.
Yes, you didn't have an H in yours. Next category, things you hear when you're on hold. Lasletts?
Your call is important to us.
Correct. Meeples?
We really value your custom.
Correct. Lasletts?
All of our agents are currently busy.
So annoying. Meeples?
Please call again later.
I won't, thank you. Next category, people who were at school together. Lasletts?
David Cameron and Boris Johnson.
David Cameron and Boris Johnson is the right answer, and that is the end of the quiz. Looking at the final scores, the Meeples have 23 points, the Lasletts have 28. So very well done, Lasletts, but well done all of you. You've still got the old magic. Brilliant quizzing. Lovely to see you all again. Thank you for playing. And thank you for watching. I hope I'll see you again for Only Connect, the show that brings families together. I like to watch it with my own family when it goes out, all of us lined up in a row on the sofa. I'm actually talking to myself now. Hello. I see you've helped yourself to another box of wine. And is that 2 bargain buckets? Oh, come on, future me. Have a scintilla of self-respect. Goodbye.